Alright, hello everyone. As you can see, I have already gone on my leaf hunt and found a bunch of different leaves. And I've sorted them out into groups based on what they look like. I tried my best to collect 2 of each type of leaf because then I would know I'd have enough if I wanted it to be arms or legs or wings, depending on what I was gonna make. So, but there are a few things I only have 1 of. And those can always work for things like bodies, or this kind of makes me think of a tail. So once you've sorted your leaves out and you kind of know what you're working with, you kind of want to move them maybe just a little bit out of your workspace. And you also need to have a glue bottle and a blank sheet of paper. So once you've got all of that ready, you are going to basically figure out what it is you want to make. It could be a different kind of animal, or it could just be a leaf man. So you saw lots of examples in the books. The book's pages had like birds and fish and turtles and squirrels and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's kind of up to you to play. Now, if you want to build on the paper, you can, but then when you're gluing things on, you're gonna have to move stuff back off the paper, and that can be kind of tricky. So a lot of times I like to build and then move it over to the paper. But because I'm on camera and you can only see so much, I am going to show you on the paper. So if I decide I want to make, let's say, an eagle, then I need to start thinking about what shapes are going to work best for my eagle. So I feel like maybe this kind of shape could work really well for the eagle's body. I wanted to do it like that. And you'll notice this leaf this is going to take a little bit of work to glue down because it's not flat. If you want to press your leaves flat, you can. You just put them under a heavy book, maybe overnight. I put mine under a heavy book for about an hour, and this one didn't really lay flat, but that's okay. I mean, you can still glue it down. This might be too big for my eagle's body, unless I want to do it this direction. That might work. All right, so if I do that one that direction, then I want to start to think about the head next. And I think for my eagle's head, I'm gonna want probably something kind of football-ish shaped or round. Maybe I could use this one. All right, so if that's my eagle's head, then maybe for the beak, I'm gonna use that one. And then I have this little tiny red one I'll use for the eye. And for the wings then, I've got a lot of these kind of longer pointy ones, but I think what I want to start with actually is maybe more of this. And if the stems are getting in the way, you can just kind of pick them off. I find that to be helpful sometimes when I'm working on these. All right, so I'm going to do a wing on both sides, and then I think I'm going to use some of these kind of straighter ones, and maybe they go behind, kind of like that. So if I do one on one side, being a wing, I'm going to probably do one on the other side. I've got a couple more here. Do one up there. I've got these nice yellow ones. Maybe add those in towards the middle. So you can see it's kind of a game of playing around to get it just right. Let's see. Maybe add that. I'm going to take that stem off there. Kind of keep adding these feathers in for the wings. So I have a tail yet to make. So once I kind of have my eagle's wings, then I maybe want to think about the tail. So maybe I'll use some of these smaller leaves again to build a tail. Now, once I've got all of it figured out, then I'm ready to start gluing. So obviously this is why you don't want to build on the paper. Because when you build on the paper, now I got to move everything out of the way. That can be kind of tricky. So if you did build on the paper, then I would probably just sort of slide things off the edge, depending on what edge they're closest to. I'm just kind of pushing them off the edge there. And I think I am going to start with the biggest part first. And so for me, that is the body. So I'm going to put a whole lot of glue on the back of this. Now, when I open a glue bottle, I'm going to make sure it's breathing. And I always say just a dot, not a lot. But in this case, you're probably going to need quite a few dots just because these leaves can be trickier to push down. So going around the edge here, I'm going to flip that over. And with glue, it's always nice if you kind of press it and hold it. And I say start by counting to 10 And then if you get to 10 and it's still not sticking, then maybe you count to 10 again until you really get it stuck down. And then the other thing is, once this is done, you could always put a heavy book on top again to kind of let everything dry flat. All right, so that's gonna be as good as I'm gonna get that one down. And I think I'm gonna pop the stem off of this one too, because it was kind of in the way last time. I'm gonna put some dots of glue on the back of this leaf. Maybe tuck it under the other one a little bit. Press down, count to 10. And then hopefully that's sticking. And I'm gonna put just one little dot of glue on this eye because it's really tiny. And press that on. Again, with the beak, I'm gonna pinch that stem off so it's not in the way. Put a little dot there. Put on the beak. And it's okay if you have a little bit of wet glue sticking out. It'll dry clear, so it won't matter too much. All right, and then I would keep going, add the wings. These are gonna need more dots. And then after I add the wings, I would add the tail. And then my eagle would be done. All right, so I still need to add the rest of the wings and the tail, but you get the idea. You're just gonna keep gluing your parts on until it's all glued together. And then, like I said, you may want to lay a flat book on top. If you have wet glue kind of sticking out, you might wanna wipe that up first, but that can help flatten it out if your leaves aren't already flat. So I hope you have a great time building your leaf creatures, and I look forward to seeing them.